Well, the objective is to finish the game with more points than your opponent, and we were fortunate to do that today. Tough, hard-fought game. I knew it was going to be. I was very impressed by their offense, the way they run the football, and they did a lot of good things. But we decided as a staff to take the approach of forcing them to kick field goals. That was the plan. I knew we were going to be a little bit less aggressive against the run by design because I was so concerned about their ability to throw it over our heads. And they had done that so many times on film and just had some speed that we didn't match up with very well. So chose to go with a plan to play a lot of zone and to keep everything in front of us. And it led to some more yards than you want to give up, more time possession you want to give up. But because of that, it was really critical for our offense to score touchdowns. And that was kind of the plan, too, just to go through and just, hey, we're going to be aggressive. Went for it on fourth down. I knew we had to try and steal some possessions from them that way. And there at the end, you get a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. I was really proud of how our team finished. I've been making a big deal about that. The last drive of the game, we had a chance to where the offense took the football, drove down the field, got some field goal range. And then special teams kicks the field goal, makes the field goal. Great job by Logan Justice. He's been clutch all year. And then we had to cover him. They're one of the most dangerous return units in the country. And so we had to figure out where we wanted to kick the ball. We used different styles of kicks. And so made that decision, had great coverage. And then defense finished it out with a fourth takeaway. And all four of those were what I consider pure takeaways. We took the ball from them. And just so proud of our guys. 4 takeaways is huge. We continue to be great in that area, one of the top teams in the country, taking the ball away and proved to be the difference in the game and scoring touchdowns and not kicking too many field goals. So proud of our team, proud of their fight, backs against the wall. People criticize them, which I'd say they should, when you don't do things the right way and don't win games, and I get that, and so that's part of it. But you know what? These are young guys, and we're a really young team, and these guys sometimes hadn't been through all this before. So really proud of the fight of our team and how our coaches got them ready to play, and proud of our team for finishing. So questions?
Mike and then Sammy. You talk about being aggressive offensively today, just throwing downfield. It seems like that was pretty successful for you guys. How much more mindful are you recently just trying to get those passes down?
There's no question. Very mindful. And it's they're probably tired of hearing me say it, throw the ball down the field, okay? We got big receivers. I live in that world. DBs aren't as big as the receivers, and it's hard to cover them. So you get interference calls, and we got a bunch of those. It's hard, and so I know you can't, do it every snap, obviously, but that's to me is an objective for sure, and I just know how hard it is on us, and I don't like having to go against those kinds of receivers, and so it was very effective today for us, and it won us the game.
Coach, you used Marcelino as the up back on those short kicks. Was that a plan you had in mind, or was that because Arod Lloyd got banged up or anything? No,
we actually practiced him all week long. At that, he's one of our more explosive playmakers, and I don't want to get him hurt, for our defense. But when here's what we did. I put him back there, and I said, you know what, let's give this kid a chance. And he took the ball and just went right at him. He just got vertical right away. And that's the key to a great kickoff return guy. And so he don't have any fear in him. Now, catching it was an adventure. And so a couple times I was like, if he don't get any better than that, I'm going to be, I don't know. And so, but we just felt like we needed some juice back there, and he got us to past the 40 both times. So that's big. That's the first down or two each time he touched the ball. So just trying to get our playmakers the ball, trying to create explosive plays.
They had a big yardage advantage, but you had a big advantage in points off turnovers. I think one also on penalties. I guess just did you feel like your team was taking advantage of opportunities well today?
They did, and that's where I was really proud of them for. And that's why I tell you, like I said, I was determined not to give up explosive plays to their offense, to make them drive the football, because I felt like we could force them into mistakes, force takeaways, get the ball back that way. You don't want to give up as many yards as we did or as much time as we gave up, but at the same time, what our offense did, which was so awesome, was when we got the takeaways, they made them pay. and they converted them to points, and which was huge. So, it's like I said, it's like playing triple option team, their style of offense, and they've kind of done that to a lot of folks, and we're, we just got to keep growing and keep getting bigger and stronger in the box, and we're very young in that area, and it kind of showed at times, and they have a bunch of fifth-year seniors on the offensive line. I played against this team when they were freshmen, and it seems like I played some of these linemen for 4 straight years, and they were redshirt freshmen then, they're fifth-year seniors now. When I was at South Florida, we played this team on our schedule, and then came here and obviously play them every year. So they're very mature in their offensive line, and so I think that showed up a little bit too. They did a really good job, and their backs are fast and hard to tackle. So that's just kind of, we had a plan to try and keep it contained and keep it in front of us so we don't give up the big play, the long touchdown pass, the long touchdown run. That was the objective, and I think it worked pretty good.
There was a point there, you guys are up 21-15. You go for it on 4th down, you get it. You throw it into the end zone. A couple plays later, you get it. What led to the aggressiveness in that sequence, and how important was that? I just think that I don't want to coach cautious. I don't want to coach, conservative. I want to just, I just want to be more aggressive. I just think that's how you win. We're not going to, I just feel like sometimes in my coaching, I just want to be that way. I've tried to be more aggressive even early in the year, different things. I talked about that. And and talking about it and actually doing it is 2 different things, because obviously if you don't get it, you're giving them the ball about midfield, but I just think that, I believed in our guys and thought we had a good plan offensively, and just by design, I wanted to be more aggressive, and so that's just kind of me growing probably as a coach.
Coach, you talked, you pooched it over and over, and then you kicked it deep that last one. What was your thinking there?
Well, if you notice, the pooches were great because they were fair catching them. They were getting the ball about 20, 25-ish in that range. Well, then he runs up there, and I tipped him. I said, guys, he's getting closer, and he got frustrated. I said, next one, he's catching it. And so I said, just have the cover unit ready. And well, he caught it and took off. And so I said, we ain't doing that again. So just try and keep him off balance, and we're just watching. I'm standing there watching him, seeing where he's lined up. And the whole objective, what they do is they put one guy deep, and then he just tried to, if he can pre-snap, figure out where you're going to kick it, he just tries to maneuver himself to get in position. So, you kind of take a gamble. I just wasn't going to give him another short pooch kick that he was going to catch. I don't mind, the fullbacks catching it. Those guys weren't going to hurt us. But they're deep guys, and it really didn't matter. We've watched film. It's been a different guy every time going to the house, so they had like 3 or 4 guys that made me really, really nervous. So we just chose to do that, and then, I think Raheem Lane was the guy that got the tackle on that. And we have a unit called our red kickoff cover, which is most important kick of the game. We put our very, very best guys on there, and we put a bunch of our defensive guys that are older that we don't want to run down covering every single kick, and that's the unit we put out there, and they came through for us. It was big.
Having TD step up in Raekwon's place and then also getting Jacob Robinson back, just how big was it to have both those guys out there today?
It was huge. It's a big loss losing Raekwon now. He runs our whole defense. And so, having TD back was big. We lost Micah in the first half. So we just basically had we were down to 3 backers left, just trying to rotate. Guys that hadn't even played the position before had to rotate there. And so just late in the year, you get guys dinged up. And so we're going to have to get some other guys ready for next week. But getting TD back was huge, and he's a really good player, but he's been dinged a lot of the season. It was great. The bye week gave him a chance to get his body back. His shoulders have been beat up, and he had a little lower leg injury. Before he didn't. That's why he didn't play before. So just getting him back in the fold. He's a good tackler. He's a good player. We just got to keep getting him more reps. So he's going to be a real good one.
Their starting quarterback went out sometime in the first half. What adjustments and how difficult are those adjustments to make when a backup quarterback comes in and plays most of the game?
Yeah, actually, this time it was really tough because the guy that they brought in was one I was more concerned about, because of his skill set. And so really wanted to see the other one more, based on, because I felt like that the running of number 3 was a big concern. You mix him in there with the speed and the talent of their other running backs, and it really stresses your defense in a huge, huge way, especially the way we chose to play them to keep the shell protected, to not give up the big pass plays. And so because of that, I knew he was going to give us some trouble, when he came in. So, but and I hope the best for their start. I do not know what his injury was, but you never want to see a guy go down. But I did feel like that 3 was more dangerous in terms of I just felt like he could create some more issues with his legs, and he did, So, but and he throws it similar to the other guy, but that's why you have two quarterbacks, and they got to be ready to roll. So, but yeah, I definitely think that we had to make some on the hoof adjustments, and we knew he was going to play some, but we actually had some adjustments. We would say, hey, when 3's in the game, be ready for this, this, and this. Well, now he's in the game all the time, so now you got to watch everything. So it just kind of we had to do some things a little differently.
Two more Peegs and Teddy.
On that last 4th and short, when you kicked the field goal, how seriously did you consider going for it with that much time on the clock? And
yeah, I didn't. The discussion was about how we were going to handle that sequence. Do you try and draw them off? Well, you know what? I learned my lesson on that one. So I wasn't going to put ourselves in that position at all. So it was discussed, and I said, no, we're not doing it. We're kicking the field goal. And that's what we did. So I just wanted to run as much of the clock off as we could. That's why we took the time there, because I knew they were going to get the ball. I was expecting us to make it. Not a short kick, but a great kick. And so, yeah, to me, there wasn't a whole lot of thought with that. You got a chance to win the game. I just had to believe in our defense. We had to get one big stop and get the field goal and everything. So I just felt like that was the right thing to do.
After a couple tough losses, what's the emotion of the players? Just getting that elusive 5th win.
Shoot, it's huge. I mean, you can't even put a price tag on it. I mean, when you fight like our guys, how hard they work, what we ask them to do, and you come up short, and you just it's discouraging. I mean, you can say all you want. I mean, just being real with you, it's tough. And I love this team. I love their fight. I love the way they've stayed together. That locker room, all you got to do is just take a peek in there and see what it means to these guys. And it was a huge, huge win for our program. And I know they're all big to me. I don't really care who you play. Every Big Ten win's big. They're hard to get. Every win's huge. I love the way these guys have stayed together. And they've just had to block out the noise and just keep fighting. So, yeah, I just think it was, we knew we needed it. And we talked very openly to our team about what was at stake. I didn't really do that last year at this time. I chose not to. I didn't want to talk about going to bowl games. I didn't want to, but I just, I said, you know what? Forget all that. I'm talking about bowl games because they're big. We've been to 11 in this program's history. And so our objective is to get to number 12. And so I'm going to call it what it is. I'm going to call these guys out on it and say that's what we're playing for. So bottom line was that's how we approached our team meeting on Monday morning, and that's how I set the tone. And so they're hard to get to. They mean a whole bunch around here. And the objective is to be there consistently and go win them. And that's what we're going to do. And so to me, that's what we set in the beginning of the week. And so coming out and getting this win, we knew we needed to. We got 2 more opportunities for sure to get number 6, and we're just going to take them one at a time. That's a great question, though. All right, thanks, Tom. Delio, have a great day.